Hi everyone, this is the E-mini S&P 500 futures. I'm using a 2000 tick chart and a 21 EMA. I've got my overnight high up here and my overnight low down here. These are our key levels for the day. So I started trading at 8 Central Time, which is this area over here. And notice that we have this uptrend, break, and then price starts making its first attempt at a new high here, and then our second attempt at a new high here. Now, I have this part circled here because notice how it's this little higher low. The uptrend is still expecting a new high, and we've already started making that second attempt at a new high. So uptrend and then break, first attempt higher, and we've started that second attempt higher, pushing above the EMA, and then I like how it held above the EMA. Now, I wasn't fully focused at this point. I started trading at 8, like I said, but I really wasn't fully, into it until 8:30, which was a little bit after this. But so this just passed by, but I just want to show it, even though it's a smaller trade. Sometimes people ask me, that sometimes I'll talk about these smaller trades, and I talk about big picture trades all the time. I mean, I just care about the risk to reward. Good risk to reward is what I care about, at least 1-to-1. So if there's a good looking trade and it's smaller, I'll point it out. But yeah, like I said, I wasn't fully focused at this point. But anyway, so I do like that right there, though. We push on up here, reach this measured move, and as soon as we reach it, we start finding some resistance and pushing back lower here. And so at this point, we have uptrend, break, 2 attempts at a new high, which means that price could get a failure. And so, because after 2 attempts at a new high and it still hasn't reached it, then, you're more likely to get a failure. So it starts pushing lower here, but it just doesn't last very long. It ends up getting a little bit choppy and then pushing on higher. And so that push higher ends up making the new high. And so we had this little reversal failure, basically push up into a new high, and so at this point the uptrend is played out. It has a new high, and price is more likely to get a reversal now, especially with being off of the overnight high, making this double top. And so when we push lower here, we could get a reversal pattern. We can push lower and even get a couple legs retesting it. It would make a triple top basically, but the uptrend is played out, a couple legs back, you could get a good entry up there. And so downtrend, break, it just doesn't form it on the way down there. We get a break, and so at this point, we can expect price to attempt a new low. And so if we can push below the EMA and, get some kind of good lower high at this point, then we could get something, but it ends up holding on to the EMA. We get this push up here, just a first entry right there, new high, we get another first entry. Now you can tell that with these bodies here, that you can see there's a 2-legged move there. So just because, you have this new high with the wick, you can still tell that there's 2 legs down there. Now, when you're looking for bigger picture trades, the bodies are a little bit more important. When you're scalping, then each wick does matter. But when you're looking for bigger picture trades, it's just important to understand that the bodies are bigger picture than the wicks. And so even though you wicked higher there, you still have a 2-legged move here before price pushes on up. Unfortunately, no clear entries here. It did reject the EMA 3 times there, completely going sideways, which makes sense because we just had a sharp push off of the overnight high, so you wouldn't want to be looking for a long anywhere over here anyway. But so nothing there. We push on up, make this higher low, but like I said, we're just coming off of the overnight high right after the major uptrend played out, so you do not want to be looking to go long. And so we continue down. We could push lower, get a couple legs back still, because if we had gotten a couple legs back from here, say, then what you'd have is, let me just move that. You'd have downtrend, break, and then if you got a push down to here and then a couple legs back, that would basically form a bigger picture failed second entry. You see, so basically up to there. And so it would form a bigger picture failed second entry if you got 2 legs back up there. You see what I'm saying? But it just doesn't happen. So anyway, we push on lower here, got this measured move. As soon as that measured move is met, just outside of this, range right here, it starts getting choppy right there, but we do end up pushing on through and then getting these 2 legs back. Now, at this point right here, on the NQ, the NQ and the ES, they do follow each other, not exactly, but, like the overall context was different in this area here throughout the whole day, but you still had those 2 legs back on the NQ as well. And so I was focusing on the NQ at this point, but I just wanted to show here that you have 2 legs back retesting this range low right here. Now it ends up fading back in and then actually holding on top of it. You can see here we have a couple pushes down there before pushing up, but it still wasn't able to reverse. Even though it faded back in and we had those couple pushes down, that was not enough for it to take off from there. It ends up getting a very bearish push down, reacting to this measured move right here. And so on this retest, I do like this for a short right here, but like I said, I was not focusing on it. I was looking at the NQ on a lower high. But anyway, this was happening right at that time. And so it is a bit choppy right here, but when we push out right here, I think it looks good to enter short because you're clearly in this range right here. You have enough room down to it. 2 legs back, sharp reaction, very bearish looking, and we have this major leg off of the overnight high, and this is like a 2-legged break from it. Now when you draw it off of the channel here, it's still within it, and it's basically closing back below this channel here. So that there's that going for it too. But the main thing here is we have this push down with a couple legs back. You're getting a sharp reaction. It was unable to fade back in. I think this looks good to ride down to the lows, but I was unable to get into this. So anyway, we push on lower here, back up. Now this is a good place to look for another short, and it starts setting something up here, but it doesn't make anything perfect. Notice that we have a failed second entry. So starting from here, we have first entry long, and then second entry long, and then failure. But it's not good how it rushed back above and was just holding above the EMA on both of those swings there. You would really want to see it holding below. So unfortunately, just nothing here. It does end up pushing on lower there, though, and we get this measured move here. So we have 2 legs down here. Measured move is met. We already had some pretty clear support at that point, so we started getting choppy right there, but we met that measured move, and as soon as we we got this little range right here. We got this little breakout from it, faded back in. We got 2 attempts to fade back in, but it ends up just pushing on lower here. And so we push on lower. We have this big measured movement, which just kind of got out of place somehow. Not sure how that happened. So first push down, break, second leg down from there. On that retest, push lower here, got this measured move in play. Now you can look for shorts on the way down. We just had 2 attempts to fade and it failed, which means that this measured move is clearly attracting prices down to it. It was stronger than this fade right here. It was stronger than this resistance, than this support. And so we can look for shorts on the way down. If we get a push lower, a couple legs back, like even right here, we could have just gotten a bigger picture breakout pullback. From this move here, we could have gotten, let me just get that drawn. A couple legs back. We already had that first leg. We could have pushed lower, got a second leg, make a failed second entry, first entry long, second entry long failure. With that big measured move still in play, could have gotten a great short there, but it just takes on lower on that lower high, reach that measured move, and we push on through it. And so we push through this measured move, and as we do that, we overshoot this channel right here. Overshoots tend to lead to breaks. They lead to sharp moves into breaks. And so it's very likely to get a reversal pattern right as we're pushing back into this channel, but in this case here, it just doesn't happen. It'd be nice to see one push above and then hold on top of this previous measured move level. So something like you fade back in, and then, oh wait, wrong one there, sorry. And then a couple legs back, holding on this level right here, and then, getting a failed second entry. That would be great because overshoots lead to breaks. You can expect price to attempt to move up here anyway. So that'd be a great place for a reversal pattern. But you still don't want to enter into this channel here. Just because overshoots lead to breaks doesn't mean you want to expect it to break. It's possible for these to recover. But you do want to be more cautious of going short. Right after an overshoot, right after an overshoot, you would want to see price confirm, push lower into some kind of failed second entry. But anyway, so we don't get that. I'm just going to remove these really quick. Notice that we get this uptrend, little break, push up to a new high, and then price attempts to reverse. We do get this little failed second entry, but it doesn't set up well. You can see the trend play out. First entry long, second entry long, failure. Obviously, this failed second entry, this push up is way bigger than the second push up right there. That second push up is really just a little tick higher and then going straight sideways. You want to see clear legs, not one clear leg and then a little chop tick higher leg. That's just not ideal. But anyway, we push on lower here, barely push on out. And now when we push on out again, that's when it's clear that we're making this 2-legged move up. So even though this uptrend had a break and a new high right here, even though it's considered played out at that point and it's trying to reverse, this reversal from the uptrend playing out was really just the break for a bigger picture on the bigger picture. And then you make a second big picture leg up. And so this break to new high is part of that leg on a bigger picture. And so then you have the bigger picture break, push up to a new high. So now we have uptrend, break, new high, and then price is reversing here. We go into first entry long, second entry long, failure. This is a failed second entry. We're pushing back into this channel right here. And this is a great looking trade. Big picture, failed second entry, great reaction. We have this measured move still in play. Really great looking after this big push up right here. So, I really like this trade right here. We push on lower here, met this trend line again, which, by the way, when you break out and then push back in, you want to look to extend it. I left it there just to show that it'll still often find resistance at those previous places, even after it's broken it. You know how we're clearly pushing back into that level there. But after it breaks out, you can look to extend the channel. And so notice how it's still fitting off of these lows here. So we have a wider channel here now. So anyway, we're pushing off here. We have a couple legs up. It's getting very, very choppy, but I'm probably just going to end this video here. Hope it helped out in some way, and thanks for watching, y'all. I'll see you next time.